We sponsored by Coca-Cola.
Hey guys, welcome to another edition of the Living Day by Day show. This is Ldbd Wallace, and today is an amazing day. Y'all thought I was going to say it was an exciting day. It's an exciting day too, but it is an amazing day, guys. I am super duper excited to have another opportunity to broadcast the Living Day by Day show with the best comedian, the best host, and that's none other than comedian Eric Ldbd, and the crowd goes, woo!
Yay! What's going on, people? What's going on? I'm super excited to be here. Man.
Awesome. Yes. I know when we were first coming on, you were saying that this show is sponsored by Coca-Cola. Speak it.
Yes, this because I haven't had a soda today. So this is my first soda today. I am working on me and not drinking too many sodas, but this is my first one for the day. I had 2 bottles of water.
Awesome. So you balancing that thing out like that. Soda?
Well, I don't know if it's a balance, but for me, you got to start somewhere. Yes.
Well, guys, if you're first tuning in to the Living Day by Day show, I want to just take some time to let you know what the Living Day by Day show is all about. It is an amazing show that airs every Thursday, guys, at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Of course, I am Ldbd Wallace. I do this show alongside another amazing host, and that is comedian Eric Ldbd. And this show brings you an avenue of information, an avenue of education, and an avenue of inspiration. So if you want to be educated and you want to be informed and you want to be inspired, you need to make sure that you're right here every Thursday, guys, at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're out there and you're wondering how you can be a part of the Living Day by Day show, you can hit me up, of course, Ldbd Wallace at AOL.com, or on all social media platforms as well. You can also hit up comedian Ldbd also, and he can make arrangements for you to be on the show also. If you're out there and you need a comedian virtually, because ain't nobody coming to nobody church, or we ain't coming to nobody events, not yet. We got to make sure that everybody is healthy. But if you're out there and you are still rolling, you're still making boss moves, and you want a comedian to come in, virtually that is, and be a part of your event, your conference, or just what you're doing for your church, or what you might be doing for your employees, or in this season right now, everybody needs some laughter. So make sure you hit me up. Again, that's Ldbd Wallace at AOL.com, or you can always reach out to Eric Ldbd. I promise you will not be disappointed. Let's get
into with Corona going on, you can we can do a Zoom comedy show. And right. If you need us a bar mitzvah, funeral, your nursing homes, wherever you need us, put a loudspeaker up and we can get it going, because I got to get this coin.
Got to get these coins. Got to bring the laughter to get the coins, okay?
Yes. Yes.
What you got for the hot topics, E?
Okay, hot topics. Okay, hot topics brought to you today by no other than Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola, come in the building, yes. Coca-Cola.
Yeah, Coca-Cola. Don't sponsor us, because I drink enough what we could.
Yeah, that part right there.
So, let's see. So this on Thursday, I'm not sure if it's last Thursday or today, the GBI announced the arrest of William Roddy Bryant Jr. This is the 50-year-old who is charged with the felony murder and crime attempt to commit false imprisonment in connection in the case. So the guy that filmed everything, he's got arrested too.
Wow. Yeah. I know I saw something on the news saying that he feared his life, and right. He didn't have anything to do with it. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that whole investigation pans out.
Yeah, because when he followed them. They basically trapped Ahmad. Like, I didn't realize how far they were really chasing him. They hunted this guy down. And I'm just shocked that he didn't dart through houses. He didn't have no cell phone on him or anything. Just to let you know that you need to carry stuff with you. People jog in that neighborhood. I see sticks, and this is an all-black neighborhood. I see people with masks on and sticks, because they don't know if they're gonna have a dog or whatever, and they jog in pairs. So you can't be out here not doing stuff, and make sure that you.
My God.
And just know your surroundings, know where you at, know where you need to be, so stuff won't happen to you. Right. But that's just one of the things right there. That's just crazy how that took place. and what they're doing.
My
So,
God.
and just in lighter news, this is funny. So Trump wore a mask at the food plant, but then took it off to talk to reporters. No, so why wear a mask?
Oh my God. 45 is a trip, ain't he?
Colt 40, that's y'all president, Colt 45, put a mask on to go talk, to go inside the Ford plant, but then took it off to talk to the press.
That's some foolery right there, okay?
But you take it off. I don't. If you're gonna wear the mask, wear the mask. And just said, since you said you were taking that hydroxychloroquine, whatever that medicine you said you were taking, you should be good, right? You said you've been taking that for the longest, so you should be okay.
Right. That's just too much. You know, and everybody, please get out and vote. I mean, just hope for the community, hope for the world. Please, when it's time to vote, get out and vote. I am telling you, definitely.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then my last hot topic. This is the best one of all. My two of my children, well, three of them, have moved on to the next grades. Hallelujah!
Praise God.
Also, they're getting out the house. So I'm just super excited. So one is moved from kindergarten to first grade. One is moved from fourth grade to fifth grade. I got two of my kids in here, so I got to help me with my son. And then my son got to 7th to 8th. And, you know,
Look at there. Look at God.
Look what God would do. And we will know, we'll know tomorrow. And we already know that she's getting ready to go to the 10th grade.
Come on.
So she's going to be going to 10th grade. Yeah, so we getting closer to get everybody out of the house. They staring at me like, where you going to go? Yes, they're getting out.
Mm-hmm. I know that's a good feeling when you have an empty nest. Not just because you want the kids to go away, but because they've accomplished and they are experiencing the world, doing some great things, and then they can make some money and pay you back, okay?
Yeah, that's why I have kids, because if you have 4, you got 4 houses you can go to when you get older. They can alternate. Say, you got mom, I got daddy. Well, I had daddy last week. So, so they can alternate, decide where I'm going to go and where I'm going to stay.
Wow. Another hot topic too that I just saw recently is it's like going viral all over all the social media sites, and I don't know who started it, but someone sent it to me, and they're saying that July 7th, they want that to be a blackout day, meaning on July 7th, they don't want any African-American dollars being spent nowhere. What? I don't even, right. This is what I'm reading. Someone just sent it to me, so I really hadn't had a chance to kind of dive into it deep. But, I started thinking when I was reading it briefly that, I do that anyway. I have days when I just say, listen, I'm just not, and not that I'm trying to hold my money from any organization, white, black, green, Hispanic, whatever it might be. I don't get into that. But, I have days when I say, hey, this is not a day for me to spend, especially if I spent a lot of money the day before. I need to breathe the next day. I need to just like, Jesus, please, I need you to breathe while I'm breathing. Breathe on these coins, Lord, because I done spent a lot the day before on things that I needed, not just, I ain't out here just being foolish with my money. But if I've gone shopping or done whatever I needed to do just household wise, or just spent money paying, regular monthly bills or mid-month bills, whatever it might be, I have days when I say, okay, like today was a no spend money day for me. Tomorrow will be a no spend money day for me. Now, if there's going to be some weekend gatherings, what have you, then I'm going to be very, very modest with the coins, okay?
Right.
So I don't know what that is all about, but I'm not encouraging it, guys. I'm not saying it's a good idea or bad idea, because I haven't really read it all and I don't want to speak prematurely. But save your money, guys, especially in this season. Save your money so you can have a cushion to fall back on. If you have a 401k out there, we're going to shift gears real quickly because our guest is in the Zoom room. But if you have a 401k, call your 401k company, whatever it might be, and they are allowing you to pull money out without being penalized due to COVID-19. Exercise all your resources. We know God is the source, and he's going to make all things happen, because he will never see you without. I will always make a way. So that is the last hot topic, is that God's going to make a way out of no way. Look at that. Look at there.
He would do it.
Yes, he
Yes,
will.
he can see you there. Oh, and then I just want to add on one more hot topic. One more, just one more. We got, I guess, about to come in. Now, Mr. Lakiba, if you were driving down the street or the road and you swerved to miss a big, huge bag, and so you pull over your Mercedes and you go through the bag and find there's money inside. It says postal tags on it. And when you take it home, you count it all up, it comes to $1 million. Do you keep it or do you turn it into the police?
Listen, some bills about to get paid.
Well, this actually happened for real. A family found $1 million. They found a bag. It had postal tags on it. It had $1 million, and they turned it into the police. Now,
I don't know.
I'm going to be honest with you and people out there. Don't let me find a bag. They got $1 million in it and it say postal. For one, they gonna get some of it, but they ain't gonna get all of it because they don't. I don't know who. You don't know who found the bag before I found it.
Listen,
and I'm just letting you know right now. If I find a bag for they, and if it's $1 million, they getting maybe like 35,000.
You heard what I said. Some bills about to get paid. Some student loans about to be paid off.
We gonna put it like this, Lakiba. I'm gonna tell you right now. You know how your design is in your background.
You gonna make it work out.
Our backgrounds will be simple.
You're gonna have a different background all of a sudden. Boop, there it is.
Ooh, this house is so nice. It sure is.
You crazy. Guys, let's bring in our guest for the Living Day by Day show today. I'm super duper excited. He should be chiming in right about now. Hey there. I am excited, guys. As we said earlier, this is a Living Day by Day show. I am your host, Lakiba Wallace, alongside another incredible host, celebrity, comedian, Eric E. Love Jordan. Welcome to another edition of the Living Day by Day show. The first half, you just talked about all the hot topics Eric did, and they were definitely hot out there. But now we're going to shift gears, guys, and we're going into an amazing interview with an amazing person, and that's none other than Mr. Patrick James Thomas, who is an incredible film director. Welcome to the Living Day by Day
Awesome.
show.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Happy to be here.
Yeah.
I'm mad that I missed the first part of
Well, I will go ahead and say it right now, Mr. Director Patrick, that she always prefaced that I am so sorry for the stuff that I say. She don't talk about what she say. She talk about what I say and the fact that I can say things. You know, I'm a comedian. You can't. I say stuff that come out my mouth that you be thinking. Honestly, and so if you be thinking it, I just go ahead and say it.
Right.
All right.
Most comedians are like, I know you wanted to say that. So, Patrick, tell the people who you are for the viewers and the listeners of the Living Day by Day show. I mean, you're everywhere. Everybody knows who you are. But for the small percentage of people who may not know you, tell the people who you are.
Okay. I'm a filmmaker, independent filmmaker here in Atlanta, Georgia. Born and raised in Michigan, went to Howard University for film school, came here because, you know, the film industry down here has been booming for a few years. So I wanted to jump on that ride and was happy to be here.
Awesome. So let's kind of, before we get into the amazing things that you have done and are still doing, what is it, how does it feel to be an independent filmmaker? I mean, I know, you know, everybody, you know, sometimes don't like to talk about it, but I'm transparent. You know, I'm an independent, you know, editor. It can be challenging. I mean, you up late at night, you trying to make these coins, you trying to make this dime speak to this quarter, and this quarter speak to that dollar, you know. Right. And of course, we keep going in the challenge, but how is it? But then you have some gratification being independent too, because nobody can, I'm running this show. Can nobody come in here and tell me how to run it? I'm running this show, you know, so, you know, so it's advantages and disadvantages. So talk about how does it feel to be an independent filmmaker?
You said it right. So it's a struggle, and at times then you get your gratification. So I think it's like this ebb and flow. Sometimes you're at home by yourself, like you said, up at night, just trying to create different content, get your ideas out. Then you also have to be out, networking with people so they know who you are. So it's like one minute you're like a hermit, next minute you're this extrovert trying to make contact. And then you also have your family life. So filmmaking is what I do as I enjoy doing my passion. Also have aside to that a video production company. So that's how I eat. how my family eat is I have my video production company, like usually running during the day, film at night, try to keep a balance with family somewhere in between there. And so it's a struggle, but once you have a product that you put out or you have people joining you to collaborate with you, that's where you get the gratification from. So it's just a balance, and it is good. No complaints.
Awesome. So who have you worked with? I mean, of course, you probably have a list of people who you aspire to work with and a list of, people you've already worked with, from directing to acting or whatever it might be, or writing, because you have some filmmakers that, they make the films, but they make what people bring them rather than writing them themselves. Is that correct?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay.
For me, all of my films have been nothing commissioned, just been films that I've done for myself or helped friends out. So a lot of independent filmmakers that I work with were from DC and Atlanta. So it's just usually independent filmmakers that I work with so far. I've worked on some, since I've been here, there's some freelancing on Tyler Perry's set as a PA. There's some other stuff in LA before I was at Howard. But mostly it's been independent local filmmakers.
Wow. E, I know you want to jump in there.
You already know, man. I love this that you're doing this and you're independent, you're doing your thing. So for anybody that's aspired to do what you do, what will be the first thing they would need to do? Because I know you just can't jump out there and say, because your person can have millions of ideas of what they want to film, what they want to do. What's the first thing they need to do?
I think the first thing you need to do, right, get your idea onto paper. Once you have that together, visualize it and bring a team together. And whether that's friends, family, or if you have money to hire a crew to help you realize your project. But yeah, I think the first thing is just to get it on paper, structure it, have people read it, give you feedback, and then it's just like I always liken it to cooking. You have your recipe, you have your ingredients. Ingredients can be the crew, your cast. You're kind of like the chef. You bring everybody together. So it's like a process that you have to go through in order to get to that point. And then when you bring whatever it is, your stew outside the oven or off the stove, that's your finished product. As a filmmaker, that's how I see it. It's always it's hard to make a movie without.
And for an aspiring filmmaker, because I have an iPhone, could I make films with this?
You definitely can.
Oh wow, okay. So because I know I've seen a lot of people, they make their films. What kind of camera or stuff do you use?
So it's a variety of cameras. I don't think it's one set camera myself for any film. I mean, you have this real big, expensive Hollywood cameras, or some low, like you just said, iPhone, some phones like that. It depends what the story calls for and what the camera fit. Is the feeling for the story. You look at what the camera can produce, and then you see if it fits your narrative. But for me, when I'm shooting, like for my video production company, I use the C100, which is relatively a cheap camera compared to a lot of cameras that you would use for a major Hollywood production. Most of my films, like Cut My Hair Barber and Apple Core, I used the red. It was different variations of the red for each film, but I use the red camera so far for my films.
So what is it like being you're a filmmaker, and what is it like, first of all, being at Tyler Perry Studio? I've had the opportunity to be there, and it was, I had to pinch myself because just the architect is amazing. He is definitely a man of many talents and so much wisdom. So what is it like, or what was it like, should I say, to be a PA on Tyler Perry's set?
It was nice. I was on the set, I think of was it not the Have and the Have-Nots? I can't remember which show it was, but it was nice seeing that all these people coming around to his team coming to make this film, and then you see him ride up on a Segway. He's already tall, but then he's on a Segway, so he's tall. He comes in to direct the set. Just nice to see someone, the Black man, with that power, creating content for us. So I haven't been to the new studio. I want to go there to visit that his lot, but I've been to the old one. So, but I was amazed with that one myself.
Yeah. Right. Anything that Tyler Perry does, or, it's amazing, old or new. It's just so amazing to see his growth. But it's also amazing to see your growth as well. I mean, you and I have kind of been dialoguing back and forth for quite some time, and you've been doing some amazing things. So, I commend you as well. Being an African-American filmmaker I'm sure it has its challenges. It's hard to get in some of those doors that are typically not open for someone like you or E. So I commend you for staying in the game and staying in the fight. But let's kind of change gears a little bit and talk about some of the, how do you cast? How do you get your actors or the other talent to be a part of any film that you are making, or a film that you are, contemplating in your head?
So I go on my last film that I released was Cut My Hair Barber. I had auditions on, what did I use? I used Craigslist, I used a lot of different Backstage, a lot of different sites on Facebook and different theater companies. And I was looking for a child. This was my first time working with a child actor. So I just was sending it everywhere. And as I was sending it everywhere, I was also casting for the rest of the characters. But I didn't choose any of my characters until I chose the boy, who was my protagonist, the main character in the story. Once I had him, I could pick people that complimented him around the whole story. So like his mother, looked like they had good chemistry. Once I got him, I was able to have them in an audition acting off one another, and other characters that played, those other actors that was trying to be his mother. But then once I found the one that I thought had really good chemistry, with her. But if you watch the story, he doesn't have a good relationship with his dad. So I found the person that didn't have chemistry. Like, they weren't really connecting. So I thought that was a way I could spin it and have him play, because I want them to have good chemistry. It wasn't part of the story.
Wow. I got a film we need to talk about, and I'll be perfect because, I'm not no actress, but I can play a part that's personal to me, because it's just who you are. So I can really relate to that.
I'm glad you said that. Sometimes with characters, I look at the person, look at their history. So when I have an audition, I will ask them about their history, their mother, their father, their family, what type of life experience they have. Then if I see similarities in my character, that's a plus with that person. Then hopefully that.
Wow. Yeah, we're gonna have to talk offline. I got some stories in my head that, like, we're gonna talk about that, Lord. I need to get that into a film, because I'm sure I'm not the only one that got some drama.
Yeah.
We all got some. We don't want to talk about it, but we all got somebody in our family that you keep going through these same situations, and you're like, this is a movie, Lord. This is what I'm going through. This is a movie. I promise you. Get paid off of that. You got another question? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, what are you working on now? I know I saw your trailer to the film. It just made me go, man, what is this all about? I'm like super excited, and I was ready to see more. So, do you have any other things that you're working on right now? And if you are, and you have not cast those, where do I send my head? I'm putting it out now. Lakeith taking too long to tell her that he want to audition for you. So I need to go and because my manager not on it right now, and I thought she's talking about her film for her. She about to be talking about for me.
It's like, forget that. I need to be casted.
Well, no, seriously, what stuff are you working on? Are you working on anything right now, personally for you?
Yes. So Right now, I'm in post-production for a film called Apple Core.
Okay.
So I filmed it. I did my reshoots. So we're just going through post. We're close to picture lock with our film. We're now working on sound design and music. And that film is about this man who's living with tremendous guilt for his part in the death of his wife.
Oh, wow.
He tries to find redemption through his art. So that's kind of like what it's about. So when you watch it, hopefully you understand it and you understand what it means.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then besides that, have other things I've been working on. One has been about Walter Washington. He's the first Black person to receive a doctorate degree in the state of Mississippi. So this would be kind of like a period piece. So to be about his childhood up until the point he got this doctorate degree in Mississippi. So he has to deal with, this, I guess, sort of poverty, racial discrimination. There's a lot of different things as growing up in Mississippi during those times, like the 40s and the 50s, which is, rough for him to grow up in.
Right. Okay.
So, mm-hmm.
No, I was listening. Keep going. I was listening to you.
Oh, so that's that one. That one, it may end up being a docudrama, but I've been working on that one since I've been working on Cut My Hair, Barber, Apple Core. I've been working on that one behind the scenes, traveling back and forth to Mississippi, interviewing people. So now I'm ready, hopefully, to bring everything together in a treatment proposal so I can start raising funds for this movie at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm. Well, before we start talking about your next film, let's just get it out the way because Eric want to know how he can be casted, okay?
Okay. So once I get it,
Wait, no. That audition picture's always like this.
See, that's too much. Right, that's it right there.
Exactly right. So
and my daughter's begging to audition for you too. She's over here behind the camera. I would just show her, but she ain't dressed, so she want to be like, me too.
Who?
So my daughter.
Oh, your daughter.
My 9-year-old is looking at me. My 10-year-old is like, I want to be in the film too. So she's.
All right. When I have auditions, I'll let you know. Hopefully, sometime later this year. Getting past this pandemic and everything. So.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I love doing stuff like that. I always have a whole bunch of people around me who, want to be the director's assistants or PA or, the, acting or whatever. One thing I say about, Black business, well, any business, but in particular Black business women, we all have to chip in. We all have to help each other, because it is a very challenging it's very challenging to have any business and be an African American because oftentimes we have more struggles than our counterpart will have. And so I just want you to know that here at the Living Day by Day show that we are definitely, we'll show up, or I promise you let us know when and where, we'll definitely show up to support you.
Okay.
Let's transition into Cut My Hair, Barber. How did that come about and what is the film about?
Okay. That came about from my own experiences. A lot of these movies come from my own experiences. I take a little piece of my experience and just dramatize it, take those liberties. But Cut My Hair, Barber came about because I grew up. It's about, I'll tell you what it's about, I guess, first. So it's about a little boy being raised by his single mother, and she tells him that his father is dead. And he has this assignment at school to trace his family tree, and he's trying to ask his mom about his dad. And she keeps blowing him off, not wanting to ask, so he's getting frustrated. So he looks around the house and sees whatever he can find. And he finds a picture of this man with his mom, and he confronts her with it. She's caught off guard and has to tell him who he is, and she has to tell him that he's still alive. So this breaks this little boy's world apart, trying to figure out, he thought he was dead his whole life. So it sends him on his journey to go find who this guy is. And so then we see how it plays out. So that's what it's about. And for me, the story came because one, it centers partially around the beauty shop and a barber shop. His mother's a beautician. His dad ends up being a barber. I have a family full of beauticians, and my mother's a beautician and a family with barbers. And so that's just my experience, or all of our experiences with probably beauty shops and barber shops. But for me, just growing up in there, I wanted to make sure I included that into the story. And for me, my father wasn't there as much as I wanted him to be. My mother was always the person there, but I knew he was alive. He wasn't dead. We actually had, I want him to be there more than he was, but we had a good relationship. No, I still look at him as like, my hero and everything, but I use my liberties to project on this little boy named Kwame.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And I really love the personal side to that. We all, like I said, we all have stories, we all have stories. I'm not even going to start telling you about my daddy. We're not going to talk about this one right here. A Rolling Stone, okay? Let's just say that.
Yeah, I love my dad, Rolling Stone.
Listen, love him to death, but I got sisters and brothers everywhere, okay?
Yeah, everywhere.
I mean, some I know, some I do not know.
Do we need to do a DNA test to see me you related?
Listen, we might. I'm telling you.
I see some similarities.
Right, you might be my brother. I don't know.
With my eyes.
Lakeeba, I looked at your forehead, then I looked at mine. I'm like, oh my God, we could be brother and sister.
Might be my daddy over there. I'm telling you, just never know. I'm serious.
It's funny you say that about your dad, because that's one of the unexpected things that I experienced with this movie. When I toured it to different film festivals, people were coming up to me, some of them halfway in tears, telling me how much the movie touched them. Yeah. I didn't think that. I just was telling a story. This shows me the power of film and how it can touch people, and just told me about their stories, and it was wonderful.
And I think that is really amazing, because oftentimes this is how you can get things off your chest by doing it, explaining it in a movie. People don't want to talk about it because everybody's all personable. I said, if you give me a mic, I'm gonna tell you, I got probably 15, 20 plus brothers and sisters that I don't even know, probably more than that. I even had, a brother reach out to me on social media and say, I think you're my sister. Like, okay, right. And turns out I was his sister. But, when I talked to my dad about it, he was like, he wasn't thinking about the kids. He was like, well, is the mom still alive?
What that mama look like?
Yeah, I'm telling you. So I cannot express enough how important it is to, make stories and movies that really depict what we go through, because you're helping somebody. Yeah, you're helping somebody. You're definitely helping somebody. So let's talk about, how do you shop your, well, first of all, let me back up a little bit. So is Cut My Hair Barber a TV series or movie? Like, what's the difference?
Cut My Hair Barber is a short film. It's about 24 minutes long. And so, yeah, that's how much it is. Thinking around, people wanted me to do a feature, but without the funding, I didn't try to do that. I just kept going on my next story, Apple Core, and other stories. So, yeah.
I like that. So do you think, for an aspiring filmmaker out there like myself or E, is it better financially to do a short film or to get into doing TV series where you can expect something every week or whatever?
I think the story helps dictate that. If it seems like the story doesn't seem like it's going to go anywhere past what it is, I think short film is fine. And for a TV series, I haven't done a TV series or a web series yet, but I have some ideas in mind that I was thinking of. And for me, when I can see a story that can go further than a feature or whatever, I can say, okay, maybe I can create this into a webisode or a TV series that can keep going on and living past just the feature length. So when I see all these characters that seem like they resonate with me and they can help carry the story along, that's how I judge it. And so that's how I have one of my stories look like it's shaping up to be a web series or a television series.
I'm telling you, we need to talk. I got a Ray Ray in my family. I got a Chanel in my family. I got a Michelle Obama in my family. I got a former President Obama in my family. I got
any Colt 45s? Do you have any Colt 45s in your family?
I ain't got no Colt 45s in my family, but I promise you, I got some series. This stuff that I'm gonna tell you, this is a series. This is something that people gonna be looking forward to every week.
Is that from your own experience from, like you said?
Yep, my own experience, you know, and
Okay, good.
and I tell people I'm not ashamed about it whatsoever. I mean, I have all walks of life in my family,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, I one day I'm gonna sit down with the film director and we gonna bring it to life, you know, because there's a lot of comedy in it. It's a lot of, oh my God, I wish that wouldn't have happened, and then it's a lot of, oh my gosh, you know, you came from the bottom all the way up to the top, living great, doing great, you know, banking great, all that kind of stuff. So I got some stuff, so we're gonna have to talk.
And a lot of
This
comedy.
yeah, got some comedy too. I got some comedy as well,
That'd be good.
definitely.
Because comedy is something I struggle with. So I always try to interject comedy or some type of something, make it more lighthearted. So that's, for me, that's a struggle. But you have that.
Yeah, and then the comedian Eric E. Love, he could definitely bring some comedy
Right.
in a film, you know.
Yep.
Definitely
Now,
cast him
I
in
do
one
have
of
a
that
question
movie.
since we're talking about directing and writing. I know there's a difference between directing, someone directing a film versus someone writing it and directing. So if you're writing and directing something, I know some directors, they say, no, this is my words. They have to be exactly how I wrote it. Don't add nothing. Don't take nothing away.
Right.
Are you that type of director, or are you the director that'll say, hey, this is the scene, make magic?
I think
Which type of director are you?
I think a combination a little bit. So I have to use Cut My Hair Barber. So Cut My Hair Barber, I did team with another writer, Kristen Ramlogan, to help me write that film. And once we got it together, when I took it to set to the actors, they studied the lines the way it was. And once they understood the scene or the lines of what the scene is about and where it's going, I gave them the liberties in rehearsal to come up with what they feel. As long as it stayed true to the character and where the scene was going, I would change the script and add it in there. So when we got on set, we all pretty much on the same page. So that's how I usually deal with it. So like I said, it's a combination. You have happy surprises sometime on set.
Mm-hmm. A couple more questions before we let you go. So how does one sit down? I'm sure there is a science or an art to writing a film. Like, what would you encourage somebody who, you know, they don't have the liberty of going to film school, but they got a lot of ideas and a lot of stories. What would you encourage them? Do they just get a notepad and start writing, or is there a particular style or art to writing a film?
So I think it's both. Again, so I think in the beginning, like what Haile Gerima, he's one of the people that mentored me at Howard University. One thing he told me to do was just throw up on page. Just whatever your ideas are, just throw it up on page. You know, like just get it all on the page, whatever it is, whatever organization it is. Don't try to organize it. And then look to see where the story is, what your strong points are, and then do an outline of your beginning, middle, and end, because you need to know the end before you keep going. It's best to know the end, at least, usually, before you start writing. And so that's where then you know how to build your stories to a certain points to help carry your narrative. And once you have that, for script writing, there's a format that you would use. Like if you have Final Draft, it's a software where you can put your story in. It shows you how to organize it that way. But you can have your story already in your mind. And then if you need something free, Celtics, CELTX is one for people if you want a free software that helps with that, at least get a little bit organized. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so
it's a chaos and then an order kind of.
Okay, awesome. So once you got your story, you got your idea on paper, and you got all the comedy, you got all the actors, the comedy, or whoever it is, and you're shooting. How do you then shop the completed work? Like, what network would you know, if you have no connections to any network, where do you go with finished content?
I don't have any connections.
Sure you do.
So for me, I guess I think of my short films like a expensive business card, very expensive business card. Yeah. So I send them right now to film festivals and just shop them around. Hopefully it will resonate with people. They were asking me to help my next film, which has happened to me. And then that's how I usually make my connections with film festivals. And what I've been doing with other films is looking at production companies or places that have produced films like mine, and then I would try to send them my work and see what happens there. But for me too, it's still a work in progress, still trying to figure it all out. I think it's many routes, so just trying to figure out my route.
Mm-hmm. And that was one question I was going to ask you too. How important it is it for you to go to film festivals and make that connection for, you know, filmmakers who might not have a connection to BET or Lifetime or Aspire, you know? How important do you feel that film festivals are? Because there are a lot of people that attend film festivals.
They are. I think film festivals, of course, isn't the only way, but I think it isn't a good way to go so you can meet those people. I've met different people who've sent my films other places that I met there, and they're I've been flown in and showed my film to other places and different things like that, or they give you some type of compensation for showing your film once you get into that realm sometimes. So that's one way that I do mine.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So how did you get Cut My Hair Barber on Aspire TV?
That's a funny story. It's an interesting story.
Yeah.
Coincidence, I think. Thank God. So, like I said, I have this video production company, and I was shooting in this building, the same building as Aspire TV.
Wow.
Right. Just coincidentally. And
Well, that's one way to do it.
just one way to do it. And so the building was cold, so I would come outside where it's warm, warm up under that Georgia sun. And then this guy was next to me. He was coming out to enjoy the sun too. He just asked me what did I do. I told him I was have a video company. I'm upstairs shooting this demo program. And he said, "Oh, okay, do anything else?" I said, "I make movies too as well." And then he said, "Oh, you have a movie?" I said, "I definitely do." So he said, "Let me see it." And then he saw it. He loved it. And he's the person who licensed films at Aspire TV, right?
Wow.
So,
Wow.
God, because just being at that certain point, meeting them at that certain time was just worked out for me.
Wow. And so Aspire TV home office is here in Atlanta?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But, you know, I always say when it's your time, can't
Right.
no devil, can't nobody stop it. When God has opened a door for you, it's just that. It is wide open, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You could have went on your break at time.
What's that?
And you took your break at that time, and that guy happened to be taking his break at that time. Think if you were just 3 minutes late or 3 minutes early and had to go back and he had walked out and y'all been passing.
Right. Yep.
Oh my God.
I've stayed friends with him and the people at Aspire, trying to keep those connections open. So they told me when I get finished with Apple Core, make sure I send it to them too. So that keeps that open for me, which is
awesome.
Great.
Wow.
My
nice.
God, that is amazing. So is there any other filmmaker that that's out there that you want to work with, that I know I see you on the, you're on Instagram, you're doing a lot of stuff, you're connected to a lot of different people from a social media perspective. So is there any other film maker out there that, they're doing their thing and you aspire to maybe work alongside with him or her?
I would think his name is Charles Burnett. He's been around for a while.
Oh, wow.
The movie Killer of Sheep, if you heard of that. I like his style of filmmaking. Him more so because I see a lot of similarities in our stories, and I would like to understand how he works and makes film. And one thing I did make connection with him, well, through Howard, but one of the people who sent me out to a festival, he was there too, and we stayed in the same bed and breakfast. So I was able to pick his mind a lot about his film and his different films. And I've been trying to keep that line of connection open. So I would love to, and watch him direct, actually, instead of, I see the end product, which I like. And have you guys heard of Killer Sheep?
I haven't.
It's a good movie. it's about his Black American life in LA at the time. But that was probably an older movie in the 70s. I think it came out in the late 70s. I'm pretty sure.
Wow. So E, is there any other questions you have for Patrick before we let him go?
Yes, just one question. One more question for you. How important is your music selection for a movie? Because all these movies with the music, how it changes the mood, or can make you cry, can make you smile. What's the process that you use to choose what song, what music you're going to use for the movie or whatever you're doing?
Okay. For my last movies, I've used a music composer. Before I was just using songs. I think one movie it was a love story that I made a long time ago I used Etta James a lot because I like the way she made the two people connect, and it helped me with the story and showing their emotions for the actors. Lately, I've been using music composers. Well, I'm working with a guy now. His name is Israel Tessafe, and I hope I said his last name right. And what we do is find clips of movies, of different songs, and show them the examples that I want in this certain moments of the different scenes in the movie. And then he would go create what he's gonna create, bring it back to me, and then we go back and forth until it's the way that I think it conveys the emotion that I want. But yeah, so that's how I usually do it. Just go through the whole movie, doing it that way.
Awesome. That was a really great question because music is definitely important.
Music is very important.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, it definitely has been an amazing time just to have an opportunity to interview you here on the Living Day by Day show. You're always welcome. Any project that you have out there, you need our support. We already got the cast ready. You just let us know where to show up at.
I see that. And you said your daughter too, who's 10 years old?
Yes.
She's ready.
I got three.
Ready to go.
Yeah, you got 3 people. We ready to go. You can be a PA. We can be director's assistant. Just let us know. We are definitely ready to rock and roll.
I know how to hold a boom.
Yes,
okay. Did you travel to Mississippi?
What's that?
You travel to Mississippi?
Yeah, I travel. I'm sure E'll travel too. Absolutely. We'll travel.
I got the mask ready to go. We can go.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, enough notice.
Ready to go.
Listen, enough notice. We coming with the mask, right?
Mm-hmm. You said you want to be anywhere?
Well, Patrick, tell the people how they can get in contact with you. If somebody's out there and they want to send in a script for you to view, or maybe they just want to be a part of the cast next time, or they just want to find out more about you. How can they do that?
Yeah, I hope people do reach out. Most of my handles are Patrick James Thomas. So Instagram, Facebook, that's what it is. Twitter. Also, I have Claude Park Films, which is the name of my film company. I have that on Instagram. So I use everything in my films there. So yeah, those are 2 places.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much for being an amazing filmmaker. Keep just aspiring to go higher. I really, your work is inspiring to me. Like I said earlier, it's challenging to be an African-American filmmaker, but you are in your lane, sir, and you are doing an amazing job. So keep going higher.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it. I really do.
It's been a pleasure. We'll definitely stay connected. Thank you again for being a guest on the Living Day by Day show.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Bye-bye. We'll talk to you soon again.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys. There you have it. What an amazing show. What an amazing guest. Just to have an opportunity to, What'd you say, E? Mm-hmm.
Light, cameras, action. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it, man. I'm telling you, he called, I'm gone. You make a way, we gonna get there, that's for sure. And if you're out there, you got a story to tell, please make sure you reach out to filmmaker Patrick James Thomas. As he said, he's all over Instagram, he's all over Facebook, all the social media platforms. You type in Patrick James Thomas I promise you he will pop up. Or you can always hit us up right here at Living Day by Day and we can make that connection for you. Well, this has been another amazing episode. We are truly, truly excited that you have taken time to be a part of the Living Day by Day show. Make sure you check out our website at livingdaybyday.net. And if you want to get in contact with me, this is Lakiba Wallace, of course. You can reach me at lakibawallace@aol.com or via all the social media platforms that are out there. E, how can they get in contact with you?
You can reach me on all the social media sites, just like Eric Lynn Jordan is my government name on Instagram. Eric Lynn Jordan on Facebook. Comedian Eric E. Love Jordan on Facebook. You can reach me on that as well. Call me or just reach out to the young lady that's right beside me.
Remember, if you want some comedy, virtual comedy that is, make sure you hit us up so we can make sure we can bring some laughter to your next event, your conference, whatever it might be. But until next time, guys, thank you so much for stopping by the Living Day by Day show, which airs every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And until next time, be blessed, keep going higher, and let God do the best in your life and in the lives of your family. We love you so good. All right, guys, we'll talk to you again soon. Have a good one.
Peace.
Peace.